Willie D Live.
What's up, family? After hearing about a group of armed neo-Nazis protected by the police threatening and harassing residents of Lincoln Heights, Ohio, armed themselves, took to the streets, and ran those uncivilized mutts out of town. I ain't got no problem with that. That's how you do it. They don't understand anything else. They're uncivilized mutts, stuck in their grandpappy's past. The only thing they understand is contact. Here's the backstory. On Friday, February 2nd, a group of neo-Nazis protected by the police briefly took over an overpass on Interstate 75 in Lincoln Heights, Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. The Nazis waved black and red flags adorned with swastikas and dropped a flag that featured a Totenkopf skull with the phrase, "America for the white man." Yeah, it appears many of the neo-Nazis are part of a group called the Hate Club 1488, emboldened by the election of Donald Trump, your president. Members of the same uncivilized mutt group harassed and assaulted residents of Columbus, Ohio last November following the election. As was the case 4 months ago, 4 years ago, 40, 50, 60 years ago. Local police did nothing to prevent the neo-Nazis from harassing and intimidating people. Residents on their way home from work and school reported that Nazis chanted racial slurs and threatened violence. Eric Ruffin, a local resident, filmed the Nazis with rifles and told the local ABC news station that they called him the N-word. While police did nothing to stop the Nazis from threatening residents, less than an hour after the fascists gathered on the overpass, a much larger group of armed residents went to the bridge to confront the human dust. And guess what happened? Video shows the police really going out of their way to protect the fascist. Remember, they did nothing to protect the innocent, the people who were just going about their business, minding their own. They did nothing to protect them, but the antagonist received protection. Ain't that America for you? See, the only reason why these clowns do what they do is because they know they have the protection of law enforcement. And the only reason why law enforcement don't enforce the law in these type of cases is because they know they have the protection of their local officials and their politicians. See, if not for them, if not for that grabbing that pen and doing this right here, you don't even have slavery. They've always hidden behind the law to do evil. They've always done it. This is why they were so emboldened on January 6th. They knew that they were going to be protected by the people who are supposed to protect the innocent, who are supposed to protect the people who are going about their business and living a civilized life. People that are actually being productive and contributing to society. They're supposed to be the ones who get that protection, not the ones who are out there breaking the laws. But this is how uncivilized mutts operate. They only do what they do because they know they got the protection of the police, and the police only do what they do because they know they have the protection from government. they have the protection from those who are supposed to be tasked with governing and protecting the people. The number one job of a prosecutor is public safety. Why aren't they out there prosecuting these uncivilized mutts? Why not? See, this is why I don't go to protest. This is why I don't do protest. Because the police are always going to be on the side of the establishment. They're always going to be against the marginalized groups. If something go down and you just defend yourself, you still going to jail, because they are going to frame it in a way that you did something wrong. Even if the police hit you with some tear gas, or one of those uncivilized mutts start shooting at you or hit you with a rock or something, you swing back, all of a sudden, that's what the police saw. They didn't see him throwing a brick at you. They only saw you throwing the brick back. See, I can't rock like that. I don't get out like that. Too vulnerable. I did it when I was younger, when I didn't really know any better, and I had all of that just misplaced anger and aggression. Man, I was on the front lines all the time. I was always out in the streets protesting, boycotting something. I was putting in that work on all fronts. Yeah, man, I was putting in the work on all fronts. Yeah, but I realized that the police is always going to be against anything that is righteous. So if you're standing on the side of righteousness, they're going to be against you. And this is because the police itself is not in place to protect the people. It is to protect ideologies and property. So once I figured that out, I was like, oh, no, hold on, man. Let me recalibrate this thing. That don't mean that I don't get down. It just means that I find a smarter way to get at them. Yeah. So it's all kinds of ways to get down. It's all kinds of ways to contribute to the movement. You just got to find what it is that works for you. Sometimes it's just making sure that you protect and you help out the people who are on the front line. You dig what I'm saying? Make sure that you give them the resources that they need to make sure that you back those people who are actually on the front lines putting in that work, you see? And that also means making sure you put some money in their pockets, because activism is not free. Activism is a very dangerous and time-consuming job. And that's what we have to understand. We get it twisted. A lot of us get it twisted, but when you look at activism on other ends or whatever, those people are being compensated. If that's all they do, those people that they are so-called trying to look out for, those people make sure that their people who are out there fighting their cause, whether it be good or bad, is taken care of financially. They make sure that they're straight. Salute to the residents of Lincoln Heights and everybody else out there who are standing up to the beast, because that's really all you got to do. They're really a bunch of cowards. The only reason why they do what they do is because they know that they can hide behind the police. And they can hide behind the police because the police have a lot of the same type of thoughts. They have the same convictions. A lot of the police are Nazis. They're KKK. And this is why they're so empathetic towards the Nazis and the Klan and all the rest of those uncivilized mutts and hate groups cause. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.